The other day, I was hungry for pasta, so I decided to make some. First, I opened Fusion and began 3D modeling a pasta roller because I didn't already have one. I began with the rollers themselves because I figured they would take the longest to print, and I could use that time to design the other components. I based all of my dimensions off of some gears that I already had printed because I would use them to drive the rollers. During the printing, I decided to orient the rollers horizontally despite the lower quality of the curved surfaces because it would reduce print time, and this is just a prototype. I then began modeling the stand that I would hold the pasta rollers. I designed it so that the rollers would be 1/8 of an inch apart, giving me 1/8 inch thick noodles. I also made it a few inches tall so that I would have room to reach under and remove the rolled noodles. I made the sides curved for aesthetic reasons, but also because it would give me enough structure while reducing the amount of material that I needed. I designed the base to be just big enough to hold roller stands, to reduce waste, and to give them a nice compact fit. For an extra secure connection, I added a few holes next to the stand grooves and made a few plugs that would snap in just in case I made anything too loose. Then it was time to print the stand. While the stand was printing, I made the noodle dough. I added 2 cups of flour and made a well. I added 3 eggs, a half teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Then I mixed it by hand for a little while, and then I turned on the mixer and kneaded it for about 10 minutes, which might have been overkill. When that was done, I wrapped it in some plastic wrap and set it in the fridge to relax. With the pasta roller now assembled, it was time to try it out. I used fairly small balls of dough and made sure that they were lightly floured so that they didn't stick too much. When I had the desired thickness, I replaced one of the rollers with a slicer attachment that I had printed to cut them. But that didn't work too well, so when I made more dough and I began rolling it, but this time I just used a knife to cut the pieces, and that worked a lot better than the slicer to get an even noodle. All in all, I was very happily surprised with how well it worked. My only criteria for successful build is that it was easier than doing it without the device, and it definitely was, so this was a success. And of course, the second criteria, that the noodles were delicious.